Welcome to another Get a Clue Casual Gamer. And this time we're going to be looking at a baker's dozen, another baker's dozen, small box, big game. Basically, these are mainly card games, but they have some other components in there, and because of that I did not put them in my card only list, which is a different video, and I invite you to watch that one. Kind of got a little long, but there are actually 16 card games mentioned in it, so you might actually find something really interesting in that bunch. But oh, my hair is acting up. Just got home from work and changed into one of my Mickey t-shirts, and we're going to just record this, and hopefully I can talk faster in this one, and so it won't be quite as long as the last one. Let's see. But I want you to get an idea of each of these games. So we're going to take them step by step. I am looking at them right now, and there are two that I have not played, but I have watched a lot of videos about them, and actually one is really simple. So we're going to start with the really simple one. But before we get started, if any of these lists or any of these videos interest you and you want to keep up with them, please subscribe to this channel, because I always forget to say that. And like this video if you want it to come up easily on YouTube for you. And also, there was something else I was going to say. I'll say it when I think of it. Okay. Oh yeah, I have categorized these in a very similar categories as I did the card only games. There's A, B, C. A is equivalent level of complexity to Uno, and B is complexity level approximately Rummy or Phase 10, and C is a complexity of Rook. But this one, we also have two games that go to the next level of complexity, D, which is Canasta. So we have Uno, Phase 10 / Rummy, Rook, and Canasta, or this direction because I have to go opposite for y'all. Okay, so we're starting with the very simple ones. In fact, the simplest one. In fact, Push, which is a Ravensburger game, which is quite unusual because Ravensburger is a German company that tends to make some really nice, big, heavy, lot of components type, but good quality games. And this is a card game with this die. That's it. Cards and that die. And the cards are good quality cards. They are good quality, but it's unusual to see Ravensburger makes such a small game. They really do. And this is actually considered to be easier than Homemade. Really. The category, the mechanisms of this, they've just basically, the title tells you, it's a push your luck game. You're pushing your luck. You're going to try it and keep on rolling the die, keep on getting cards until you stop or you bust. And so if you're into push your luck type of games, really easy push your luck type of games, Push. Great company, great game. This is actually one of the two that I have never played yet. I need to be in a group that likes to play push your luck. I'm not a big push your luck person, so yeah, I'm pretty conservative when it comes to pushing my luck. But I'm looking forward to trying to, yeah, what's there to lose? I mean, I doubt it's, if you've ever heard of Zombie Dice, which is a push your luck game. I think it's funny, and I can play that one easily and quickly. So I figure I should be able to play this one quickly. So that's number one. Number two is No Thanks. Love this game. Very easy. Someone who's not a gamer and someone who is a gamer can like this. I have played it with people who have never heard of it before, and I have played it with people who have just finished a 3-hour game and are going into a 2-hour game, and they just wanted something light to kind of like cleanse their palate of gaming. It is so easy. Again, this is in the Uno category. It is basically you're trying to end up with the lowest score. I have done a video. I'm pretty sure I did a specific video. Oh, it's in my under $20 video, the top 10 under 20. This is in that one. It is a fun, easy game. You're just trying to end up with the lowest score. The lowest score wins. And the my brain has gone to Spanish because, you know, I am bilingual and my brain just switched and I'm not thinking. Tokens, thank you. Those little tokens are used to say no thanks, I don't want that card. But you have to use them wisely, because if you run out of tokens, you run out of no's, and you'll have to take these cards, even if they are horrible for your game, for your score. So that's number two, no thanks. Very easy. It's cards and those little tokens, and you're just going around putting, you know, taking a card or saying no thanks, taking a card or saying no thanks, making them into sets. If you are stuck with various ones, if they are consecutive, you make them into one set, and the lowest score, the lowest card in that set is your score. You don't have to score the rest of the cards in that set. The next game is Love Letter. Talk about a small box, big game. Love Letter is cards, this many cards. It's a game for 2 to 6 players. And then these lovely tokens as well. Cards and tokens, and you're trying to get the favor of the princess. And and that's the game, is trying to get the favor of the princess. It is a hand management game. So you are managing the cards in your hand. But it's also, and it's the only one on this list, a player elimination game. But it's such a quick game that the first time I ever played it, I was eliminated before I could even play my first card. I was like, really? I don't even have a turn, and I'm already eliminated. But then, of course, the game lasted a whole other minute and a half, and we set it up again, and we played again, and at least that time I survived longer. But it's a very quick game. I mean, you can play a game in 5 minutes, you can play a game, you know, it's like, it is a very quick game, but it's a little, it's in the level of Uno, but there are choices that you need to make when it comes to what you're going to lay down. So little package, big game. Much bigger than what you would think from this little pouch. That's our number 3. Now we're done with the Uno levels. We're now jumping to the Rummy and or Phase 10 level, our B level. And that one is going to begin with, I think, my newest game out of all of these, and that is A Little Wordy. Just came out recently. Came out this year, came out recently this year. A Little Wordy. Basically, you are going to pull out some letter tiles and a certain number of consonants, certain number of vowels, and unbeknownst to, by the way, this is a two-player game. A two-player game. Unbeknownst to your opponent, you're going to use the letters that you got, and you're going to use some, doubtfully all, but some of them, and you're going to create a word. Excuse me, my nose decided to tickle. And you're going to write that word down and hide it. And then you're going to give the opponent all of your tiles, and they're going to give you all of their tiles. And you're going to try and figure out what word did they create using the tiles that you just received. And there are cards, because these are all card-based, there are cards that you can use. For instance, one says, I'd like to buy a vowel. And so you can tell your opponent, I'd like to buy a vowel. That means you're going to get a point, and the opponent tells you a vowel that is in that word. Another example is, what's the last letter? Another one is, how long is the word? So there are different ways of getting clues, but every time you ask for a clue, your opponent is getting points. So keep that in mind. It's a quick game. It's easy. You can play it as often, as long, as many words as you want. You can do it one word. You can do it 3 words. It doesn't matter. It's up to you how long you want this to be. So, and it's not difficult at all. 2-player game. You and one other person. So if you don't have a lot of people around, this is a good game to have. Or maybe you don't have a lot of people who like to play with words and letters. And so that gives you something to play with the person who does like words and letters. That was number 3. Oh, sorry, 4. Number 5, Jaipur, which is also a 2-player game. There are 2, 4, 6. Almost half of these are 2-player games. Just to give you a heads up. Jaipur is a 2-player game. I'm thinking, out of all of these, I think this is my first one that I played that was a 2-player game. It is considered a lot of things. It is considered a hand management, card drafting, set collecting, market game. Sounds like a lot in this little box. And it is, but it's not complicated at all. Remember, this is in the Phase 10 Rummy level of games. And basically, you are collecting cards, making sets, and selling or using the sets to buy chips that are worth points. That's the game. You're collecting sets so that you can buy these cardboard coins, tokens, that are each worth a certain amount of points. This one's 5, 3, 3. This one's a hidden one where if you sell 3 cards, you'll get the top token here, top 3 tokens, sorry, you get 3 tokens, and you'll get this token for having sold 3 all at once. So this is Jaipur. Wonderful game, very easy to pick up and learn, and lots of camels in it. You'll understand it when you play it. That is number 5. And then I have number 6, The Fox in the Forest. Fox in the Forest is a 2-player game. We got 3 2-player games in a row. It's a 2-player game where it's hand management and trick taking. Okay? You're trying to get these different tricks and get points. There are little tokens of points. 3, 6, 1. Each one of these has something special written about it. It has different numbers, have different abilities, and you use them to help you collect the tricks to win a trick. And if you've ever played something like Rook, this is, yes, this is trick taking, but it's nothing like Rook. Rook is much more thinky, okay? Just giving you that heads up. But it is a trick taking game. So if you've ever played a trick taking game, The Fox and the Forest, 2-player trick taking game. Okay. That was number 6. We're almost halfway done. Not bad. Number 7. Let me find it. Now we're in the next section. Now we're in the Rook complexity section. And there are 5 games in this level. The first one is Hanabi. Hanabi is a basic concept. It's a cooperative game, so everyone's working together to create the most beautiful fireworks display. And the cards are the fireworks. To create the most beautiful fireworks display, you need to have each of the colors. I think there are 5 colors, and there are 5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers in each of the 5 colors. And all you're trying to do is start each color with a 1 and follow it by a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. You're trying to get the highest score you can get. But there's something about it that makes it a little harder than just, oh, I have a 1. Let me put that down. The fun part is that you never see your cards. They are facing away from you. And all your other players have to work out between you all who to give a clue to and when about what is in their hand. And each clue costs a token, and each incorrect guess causes a bad token, a red token opposed to a blue token. And basically you're just trying to get the highest score. You can throw away a card without seeing it until you play it down, and then it's like, oh man, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that one. But by getting rid of one, you get one of the question tokens back into the pile of the tokens that you can use to ask questions or tell information to somebody else. Yeah, so that's how. The hard part is that you never see your cards until you lay them down. Yeah. But all you're trying to do as a group is put down the numbers 1 through 5 from 5 different colors to create a beautiful firework display. That is number 7, Hanabi. Number 8, another fun one. It's called Dixie Academy. I'm showing you Dixie Academy because originally this came out and it was called Hanamikoji. But Hanamikoji is out of print. They reskinned it. In other words, they put new artwork and a new theme to it and called it Jixia Academy, but it's exactly the same game. Exactly the same game. This is a 2-player game. You are card drafting and hand management. And really set collection too, because you're trying to get the patronage or the acknowledgement of, in this case, of professors at the Jixia Academy. In Hanamikoji, you're trying to get the prestige or the recognition from geishas. Each one has its own, let's see right there, you have all of these professors at the academy, and one or the other person is putting down a card that corresponds with the color of that professor, trying to win their recognition and their prestige. And you do it in several rounds. It has a cool mechanism where each round is, I think there's 4 steps in each round, and that's all, and you have to do all 4, but you can choose what order you do them and what you use for them. And I'm not explaining the whole thing because I'm not here to teach you how to play the game. I'm just here to tell you how cool this game is. All you're doing is trying to get the prestigious professors to choose you. And the way they choose you is if you have the most points in their color on your side of the line of professors. That's it. It really is not that tough. It's fun. I have played it several times, and it is really worth trying it out. So that is the Jixia Academy. Great artwork, beautiful Japanese artwork, gorgeous. That was number 8. Number 9, Schotten Totten. Schotten Totten is actually, it's also a 2-player game. Dixie Academy is a 2-player game. Schotten Totten is a 2-player game. And the funny thing is, they're very similar in that with Schotten Totten, it's kind of like a tug of war between one side and the other. And there's a row of stones, rocks, which are actually, let me kind of open this up and give you a picture, show you what it looks like, because I don't think I've talked about this anywhere else. These little cards, there's a little stone on there, and you have a whole line of them, and that's like the rock wall. And then all of these cute Scottish warriors or people are trying to win the rocks, and to do that you need to do combinations, set collections, hand management. You're trying to, in some cases, you might want to try and get 3 of a kind on your side, but the other side, they might choose to do a run of 4, 5, 6, and that beats the 3 of a kind, because 4, 5, 6 are the same color, and it's like, it's things that we're used to in other games, set collection or runs. Sometimes, yeah, you could win it with simply having 3 cards of the same color. That's all, yeah, that's the best you could do, but the other side of the wall has nothing, and so you end up winning the rock, the stone, and it goes on to your side, and you're just trying to win the game. You have to have 5 of the stones on your side, or 3 that are next to each other on your side, and that wins the game of Schotten Totten. This came out originally with a different company. This one is Yellow, I-E-L-L-O. Came out years ago from a different company, so they've changed the artwork and the name because they had to, because different company. It was originally known as Battle Line, and it had like Roman soldiers and barbarians, Roman soldiers on one side, barbarians on the other, and then this wall, and so you were trying to beat the other side. But this is Schotten Totten, and it's just 2 Scottish clans trying a tug of war over these rocks, and that is Schotten Totten. That was number 9. Number 10. Sherlock 13. This is the other one that I have not played yet. It is a deductive game. Basically, you are trying to figure out who it is, who did it. Let me read here. Let's see. One of these undoubtedly is a criminal, but who? Surely with even Sherlock as a suspect, no one can be trusted. You must solve the case alone, deducing the true criminal with logic and wit. Hurry, for your fellow suspicious investigators are attempting to do the same thing. So this is a deductive game. Sherlock 13, you are trying to, with the clues given, trying to figure out who is the culprit. Okay? So this is definitely a deductive game, a deduction game. And that's basically what I have. If you've ever played, and if you've played Clue, you played a deduction game. And this one is very similar, where it might tell you they smoke a pipe, and so on each character, there's a pipe, so it could be either of them. And so you're breaking down the clues to figure out who is the true culprit. And it's a light game, it's an easy game, 2 to 4 players, deduction. So if you want a small deduction game, it's like you don't want to take a big box with you someplace, but you want a deduction game. This is Sherlock 13. That was number 10. Number 11, Holmes, Sherlock and Mycroft. Yes, Sherlock, back to back, very similar weight, complexity. But where this was a deduction game, this is not. This is not a deduction game. Holmes, Sherlock and Mycroft is just a painted on theme. You could have done the clans of Scotland as much as you could Sherlock and Mycroft. This is a 2-player game. It's another 2-player game. And it's set collection, you're drafting cards, you're managing your hand, you're placing your workers in a specific place. It goes over seven days, so there's 7 rounds. There's 3 actions in each round. That's it. You have 21 actions in the entire game. It is not a long game. None of these is a long game. I love not long games. I have played my share of long games, but I really like the nice short ones. And this one, you're collecting similar things, and at the end of the game, you want to have the most of a certain number. If you have the most 7s, if you have 4 of the 7 sevens, you get points. The other person does not. If you have 5 of the 9, or because whatever number the card is, that's how many cards of that number there are. There are 3 3s, 4 4s, 5 5s. Okay, and you're just collecting these sets so that you will have the majority at the end of the game, so that you can score the best points. And that is the complexity of Holmes, Sherlock, and Mycroft. Now, we leave the Rook level of complexity and we enter into the Canasta level. And for that one, truth is, the crew is up there, but only once you get several games in, because the rule book has scenarios that you choose from, and you can start off with some of the easy ones. This is the log book, and the easiest ones can be done so quickly that you are done and you're like, oh, we're done. Okay. So really the first few are Uno level. I mean, really, they are very simple. But because they keep on getting tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher, this game has been placed in the Canasta level of complexity, because unless you're planning to play the first one or two games over and over and over and over again, you're going to want to get a little bit more complex. But it's nice that they have the easy games at the beginning, because that way you get to learn how to play this game and the nuances of it before you choose to go into the harder levels. It is a trick-taking, I think. Yeah, it's a it's a cooperative game. There are 2 cooperative games in this whole list, and this is one of the cooperative games. You're working together with everybody else to do what the logbook tells you need to do. For instance, it might tell you that the first player must win the 5 blue card. And so everyone, without saying what cards they have, need to work out how to get that person to win the 5 blue. And once that happens, you're done. Let's play again. Shuffle the cards, pull up the logbook. Do we want to try that one again? Do we want to try something a little bit different? The next one might be the one player must win a trump trick, but somebody else needs to win a trick with the 7, but it has to be after the person who got the trump trick. It's like, so yes, it's in the canasta level, but it really starts off in the Uno and phase 10 level, and it works its way up. So don't be afraid of this game, because it actually is extreme. It came out last year and extremely popular, so popular they've come out with a second version underwater. This is the Quest for Planet 9. It's the outer space one, but the one that just came out last month is underwater. It's an underwater adventure, a deep sea adventure. It is so popular, and it won the 2020 Kennerspiel des Jahres. Kennerspiel is the Spiel des Jahres is the game of the year in German. Germany has this award. The Kennerspiel is the strategy game of the year. So this won this past year's strategy game of the year, just so that you know. So there is some strategy to it. And the last one in this list of a baker's dozen, number 13, is Friday. Yes, it's called Friday. And it has something that none of these other games have. It is a solo game. It was made, and it can only be played solo, solitaire. It's a solo adventure, and it is incredibly tough to win. It looks easy, and then you play it and you go, I'm dead. And so you do it again and you go, oh, I lived a little longer, but I'm dead. And then it's like, oh, I survived the island. The pirates killed me. And I actually have won one time. One time I have won, and it was only, I survived the island, and the only reason I survived the pirates is because I happened to have drawn 2 simple pirate ships. and I was able to fight them and survive the 2 pirate attacks. And so I have won this one time, this one. But if you're out to, to have a card game that is just going to kill you over and over again, it is fun. It's just, let me try again. And so yeah, it's a solo game. It's number 13 in this list. It is the most, quote, complex game out of this list. The easiest one was Push, the hardest one is Friday, and those are 13 small gifts, small boxes that have big games inside of them. Games that you can really enjoy and really have fun with friends, family, or just yourself. It's just a fun group of games. I invite you to check one out. If there's one that I have not done a separate video for, and you're interested in knowing a little bit more about it, write something in the comments about it and tell me which one that interests you more, and I will try and work in as quickly as possible a solo video, get a clue, casual gamer, about that specific game. And if you haven't watched any of my Get a Clue casual gamer regular videos, the Get a Clue talks about the components, C, L, length of play, U, uniqueness of the game, and E, ease. How easy is it to learn, teach, play? How easy is it to find? How easy is it on your pocketbook? And so I have, I believe, 18 of those videos already done. I've done 3 videos on under $20, under $30, yeah, 20 to 30, and a small one of over 30. The over 30 ones, don't be afraid of those, because those are classics. Those are modern classics that really are big and just welcoming. They are not complex. They are the welcoming bridge type of games that are really loved by many people and families. So don't be afraid to splurge on one of those games to get yourself started as a family playing these games. And then, of course, I have done the card game only, the cards only list of Baker's Dozen, and this one, which is mainly cards with a few little tokens and stuff thrown in there. Another Baker's Dozen. I am working on a Christmas themed list, which I hope to have ready before this coming weekend. I am recording this. What's today's date? Today is November 8th, 2021. And so I am recording this now. This is a Monday, so I'm hoping that by Friday or Saturday I am able to do a video on Christmas themed games. But in the meantime, if you have any one of these games from any of my lists that you would like to have more details on, just put it in the comments below, and I will try and create those while I'm waiting to be able to do the Christmas ones. I have to play all of those Christmas ones. On Thursday night, I've got it scheduled to play the ones I haven't played yet, so that I can really tell you a little bit more about all of those Christmas ones. I'm hoping to have the 12 games of Christmas is what I'm going to call it. So I'll talk to you then. I'll see you then. And in the meantime, check out the other videos, subscribe, like this video, whatever it takes. Just have fun playing games. Solo, in pairs, let me find it in pairs, or with a crowd. Just have fun. Happy gaming. God bless. Until the next time. Bye.